This is where you get your news without the bias, just the facts. Big news today with Armenia and Azerbaijan. Here, according to Reuters, Azerbaijan and Armenia published the text of a U.S. brokered peace deal. Big news. They both pledged to respect each other's territorial integrity and formally put an end to nearly 4 decades of conflict. The deal was struck in Washington last Friday. The text of the agreement, which was initialed by the country's foreign ministers, says that each country will relinquish all claims to each other's territory, refrain from using force against one another, and pledge to respect international law. This agreement is a solid foundation for establishing a reliable and lasting peace, the result of an agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan that reflects the balanced interest of two countries. Armenia and Azerbaijan, for 4 decades, they've had a lot of conflict, and people have said, no, they can't have peace. There won't be a peace deal. Nothing's going to work out, but it has worked out, apparently. Armenia and Azerbaijan, neighbors in the South Caucasus region, have been locked in conflict since the late 1980s over in the Nagorno-Karabakh region. So this region, they were once part of the Soviet Union. In this region of Nagorno, there's a lot of Armenians that live there. When the Soviet Union was split up and they had the countries Azerbaijan developed and Armenia, there were a lot of Armenian ethnic people inside of this Nagorno region, and it was actually placed inside of Azerbaijan. So since that time, there's been a lot of conflict with the people of Azerbaijan and the ethnic group of the Armenians who live in the Nagorno region, which is inside of Azerbaijan. So for 4 decades, they've just been going at it. A lot of conflict. A lot of the Armenian country has kind of gone against Azerbaijan for the way they treat their people. So it's just been a lot of conflict. But here we go. So the European Union, NATO member Turkey and Russia have welcomed the accord. The deal explicitly bans the deployment of third-party forces along the country's shared border, a reference to Russia getting involved with the conflict. The United States has said, hey, we don't want Russia or probably Turkey involved if there is more conflict. The European Union also has a mission deployed at the border to monitor ceasefire violations, which Baku has repeatedly demanded it withdraw. The peace deal has not yet been signed by the two rivals, who both gained their independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. In a major hurdle to peace, Azerbaijan is demanding that Armenia change its constitution, which Baku says makes an implicit claim on Azerbaijani territory. So they decided to relinquish each other's claims on their territory. They decided to make peace. So President Trump has said, hey, we're going to come in. The United States is going to be the broker between these two countries. It's a big deal. Now, how do we get here? How do we get this peace? The potential peace deal would transform the South Caucasus, an energy-rich region neighboring Russia, Europe, Turkey, and Iran. At the White House meeting on Friday, the United States gained exclusive development rights to a strategic transit corridor in the region that the Trump administration said would boost bilateral economic ties and allow for greater exports of energy. So one of the greatest ways we see peace deals done between two countries that are at conflict is one of the first things you do is you open up economic ties between the two countries. As soon as you open up economic ties and you create these business and economic shared interests between two countries, it seems to easily translate into some sort of peace deal between the two countries. So what the White House has done is they have said, hey, we will broker peace by creating a sort of a 3-country economic deal between the United States, Azerbaijan, and Armenia in order to make a shared economic interest between the 3 countries. The management and development of that corridor, which will run through southern Armenia and connect most of Azerbaijani territory, was also a stumbling block to initial peace efforts. So Trump's team was able to come in, make some sort of deal of how to manage it so that neither side had maybe overbalanced advantages to this deal. This is really big news. Both of the leaders of Azerbaijan and Armenia have recommended that Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know what you think. Do you think this could happen some other way? Do you think it's going to stick? Do you think they're going to stay in peace for a long period of time? Don't forget to put your comment in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend. I'll see you next time.